Hello. So I think I'm back, and I hope I'm live streaming. Sorry to be so unsure. Whoa, can you see me? Okay, there we go. This would be Daily Art Adventure. I'll put the numbers on it later. This would be number 264B for those of you who are keeping score. Right? We're doing good? No, we're not really doing very good. Sorry. Okay, let's hope that stays pointed at my subject matter now. Um, so I've done much of this part of the house since we last chatted. And now I'm thinking about, especially about secondary reflections and secondary. The main, at least for today, the main thing I have to do is this wall of the house. So that'll give me just an excuse to chat about a few things while I try to knock this out. So in the last few minutes, I painted this wall, this chimney, this wall, and this roof, and a little bit on the tree. So I'm ready to, yeah, tackle some new stuff. Again, being very careful. There's a very fine line for those of you who are painting as I am in this world of painterly painting. So I'm eliminating realism, photorealism, superrealism, or immature realism. Never mind, I'm going to let that go. I'm eliminating all that kind of stuff and just zeroing in on people who are like me, who are trying to do painterly, brushstrokey, mature Rembrandt, Franz Hals, John Singer Sargent representational painting. Okay, that's just for want of a better term. I've been using Franz Hals lately just because I just got totally blasted by looking at them for a couple times last week. There's, for those of us who are painting in this world, there's a really, 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 oh, okay. I'm sorry, let me laugh. Let me tell you what my phone is doing. It's finding a reflection of my face. Let's see if I can get it to do it again. Yes, there we go. It's finding a reflection of my face in the mirror up there. You see that? Hi there in the mirror. And so it's thinking that that's what I want to do a picture of because I've got it set on auto. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Let me turn off the auto finding face thing. Okay, there we go. Sorry. with every new piece of fancy gizmo, there's a whole minefield of crazy pitfalls to learn from it, right? Whew. Anyway, so now I think I can zoom in on just the painting. There we go. Okay, I was trying to say, for those of us who are painting in this world of abstract realisms, my favorite description, the lay people, non-artists call it impressionistic, but then they tend to get us confused with like Monet, impressionism, and I am definitely not doing impressionism. No pointillism, no little water lilies. Anyway, for those of us doing this kind of stuff, whatever you want to call it, and again, my favorite label is abstract realism. There's a really subtle fine line between loose and unfinished. And I know this is true largely by looking at other people's artwork. I mean, believe me, I'm sure I've fallen into that trap too. But sometimes you can see things more objectively when it's not your work. And I remember years ago, in fact, I was standing there with one of the gallery owners in whose gallery I represented along with another artist. And the gallery owner complained, I will certainly not name the artist because he's a good artist and so on and so forth. But anyway, she complains, it's like, well, he's into loose, sure. But to me, his paintings just look unfinished. And they looked unfinished to me too. And that was probably 8 years ago that this gallery owner made this observation. And it's really one that has stuck with me. I'm driving myself crazy here. By the way, painting with one hand. Let's do some good painting. Really, really subtle, fine line between loose and unfinished. And in this case, with this house in particular, I'm definitely walking a real tightrope. I want it to stay loose. I want it to stay in the background, but I don't want it to look unfinished. And if you think that's easy, it's because you haven't tried it. So, very subtle difference. And if I knew the exact formula, I would share it with you, but I don't know the exact formula. I will say one nice thing. Let me back out just a little bit. One nice thing about this house, the painting, is that there are several planes, like this, the roof, this wall, this roof, this roof with sun and shade, this wall, and so on and so forth. And what have managed to do, I think, believably, is actually make each plane a slightly different color. And that has added I think it's adding a lot of interest. I think it's coming off believable. I wasn't sure that it was going to be believable while I was doing it, but I think it's coming off all right. A slightly green cast here. Why? Because there's reflection of sun hitting this. Bluer here, lighter here, and purpler here. Now, the big question might be, why is this wall right here purple? And here's a funny one. The reason is because I think it looks good. But what gave me the excuse to do it was in real life. Well, let me show you the photograph again. In real life, this wall has just been replaced by the owner of the house, and it hasn't been painted yet. So it actually is a different color. Now, I'm not doing it, mustard yellow the way it is in that photograph, but it gave me just enough of an impetus. I hope it won't drive the viewers crazy. Not good to drive viewers crazy, but it gave me an excuse like, I bet you it would look better if I made that wall a slightly different color. And I hope that the viewers will say, that wall's just painted a different color, because in fact, in reality, that's what it was. It was unpainted in this case. Anyway, but I do think it's coming off fairly nicely, that each of these walls or planes is a slightly different shade of color. So, as they say, that's my story. I'm sticking with it. More sgraffito. And I'm sorry if I'm missing some of you guys, your comments. I'm going to try to catch them out of the corner of my eye. But I'm not sure I'm always going to do that. Right now I'm toying with the concept of reflection, basically reflection of this window in this window. That's pretty sophisticated reflection there. And I might have bit off more than I can chew, and if so, I'll just wipe it all off. But first I'm going to try to make it work. Yeah, I think that's all right. Let me come in here and darken this window here. Now, and I'm looking at my photograph. I don't really get any help with that window. I've been doing a lot of thinking in the last several days about painting from your mind, painting from memory, or imagination versus painting from a reference, whether that's plein air or a photograph. That is looking at something and trying to paint from it. Let me describe my own journey this way, that when I was a less mature painter, and that goes all the way back to, I can remember, age 18 and so forth, I did a lot of painting from imagination. And that continued all the way up through age 50. That's a long time. Now, I did a lot of reference too, but it's just a degree. It's starting at about age 50, which is when I started really doing plein air painting seriously, I think it's fair to say. Up until then, I did quite a bit of painting from imagination. Since then, I've done very little. I do almost all my painting from visual. And first of all, let's make one thing really clear to you non-artists. Sometimes I'll see on an immature artist's page, they'll say something like, and this or that artist, and I paint everything, from my mind, and they think that that's like good. It's only non-artists that go, wow. The real artists, I'm being really blunt and painful here, painfully blunt and honest. Real artists go, oh, crap. Yeah, you do paint from your memory, and it looks like it. You paint from your imagination. And I'm not talking here like about people who do good fantasy painting. Let's talk for a minute like Frank Frazetta or Julie Bell or somebody like that. They're painting fantasy. Yeah, but they use extreme reference photographs for their fantasies. That's a different category, pretty much altogether. No, I'm talking about people that do kind of like the Bob Ross thing, painting a beautiful mountain stream, a mountain out of their head, trees out of their head, streams out of their head, and so on and so forth. I don't know. It's okay. I guess it's got a place. I've done plenty of it, believe me. But the more you paint out of your head, the emptier your head gets. There you go. How's that for blunt? The more you paint out of your head, the emptier your head gets. There's some degree of truth there. There really is. Okay, tell you what. I'm going to make just a few touches real quick here, and I'm going to call this done for the night. I reserve the right to look at it with fresh eyes tomorrow or whenever I get back to it, Sunday, Monday. Tomorrow, by the way, I hope to broadcast a fair amount. I'm doing a wedding painting, and that's sort of the bullseye of my business these days. Love doing it. I'm not real far from home. So I hope I can broadcast, hope you can join me. It's always a little bit delicate broadcasting from a wedding because I'm being paid by my clients to be there. And I don't want to, irritate them by talking to all you guys. But if I can get away with it, I will absolutely, yes, I will broadcast tomorrow. So that's it for today. Hope that's fun. Hope I didn't miss too many comments. Anybody want to make any right now? Now's your chance. I'm looking at your screen. You want to make a comment? Okay. Thanks, guys, for watching. Appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow.